Our next question has something to do with structure. Please share your assessment of the regional vice president and circle of president regional representative roles. How will you maximize and promote the complementary relationship of these two offices?
Okay, we will start with candidate Madeline Yu, followed by candidate Jeanette Libello, and then candidate Mindy Ofiana.
Thank you. I was in both roles. I represented the Eastern region as the forum leader for Council of Presidents, and it was a very exciting role because you truly have so many projects that you could give to the region and make all the projects happen in collaboration and complementary to the role of the regional vice president. So the executive board of the PNAA assigned you to do a project. Say, for example, the old chapter president's manual is old. Can you update it so to make sure that all our new leaders are, are marching with what's new and what's current? So we did that. We had a new initiative of KEF, Kababayan Emergency Preparedness Fund, and leaders from before us paved the way for us, and our group was able to operationalize it during calamities in the Philippines. So it was a very exciting role, it was a rewarding role, and it needs collaboration between the regional vice president and council of presidents. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. When I started in PNAA, I was actually one of the 3 Circle of President representatives. We don't have a Circle of Presidents per region. So there's 3 of us, and we watch how the officers and the executive board function. And from that moment on, I know that there's a place for me in PNA Executive Board. And then I watch when there is a regional vice president and COP, and I watch regions that are actually intermingling and working together to benefit their region. Dino Doliante and Majuvi Sosi of New Jersey at that time, they posted the highest members in collaboration during that time frame. And so those are kind of role models that we should look into. South Central region right now are also very strong, the RVP and COP working together. North Central is the same thing. So let's do that. Thank you.
Unlike Madeline Yu here, I too am in that position. I'm currently the RVP and I was a COP before. The RVP is a national elected, COP is locally elected based on the region. To have that structure, there has to be role expectations on both. I experienced some, role clarification issues during the time, but there's conversations between the person, the RVP and myself have spoken. We built systems and processes so that we'll be able to communicate together. We had measures. Last but not least too is that the interpersonal relationship is very important. So I believe is important. RVPs and COP are important roles. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are now on the home stretch. This is going to be the last question, and I would like to thank all of our candidates because you actually did it on time. Nobody had to stop you. When we did the alert, you ended it. It is really a magnificent way to present yourself as future presidents. So the last question is, if you win as president-elect, you will actually be the president at the turn of the on a milestone year. It's going to be year 2020. You are going to welcome year 2020. So this is the question. There is nowhere in sight to sunset the Retrogression Act. There are still mixed projections on the nursing shortage and what we now call global nursing trade. What do you see as the future of PNAA way after 2020? Is it a demise or a rise? What strategies will you put in place to make sure that PNAA thrives? And in the words of Major Marlon Saria 2 years ago, how are you going to articulate PNAA's race to relevance?
Okay, the order of answers will be candidate Jeanette Libello, followed by candidate Mindy Opiana, and candidate Madeline Yu.
Thank you so much. Retrogression, visa retrogression. And that's very true, and I think my fellow co-candidates here have spoken about having a lot of nurses but not enough jobs. So as a PNA organization, we really need to get our thoughts and minds together on how are we going to advocate for the nurses that are suffering in the Philippines and even in the world. And even here in the United States, there are still portions of areas in the United States where nurses don't have jobs. And so we need to look at that. We need to look at demographic survey and find out a lot more about the existing job available for the nurses. At the same time, I would like to collaborate with the organization, local, national, and international. The relationship building that I was talking about earlier, the partnership that I am talking about to bring the PNA in greater heights, we will be the advocate and the voice for all those nurses. Therefore, it is very important to look at some trajectory of plans that we have for these nurses so that when they are ready and the visa happens in 2025, they already know what the requirements are. We did this. Dr. Gloria Berriones actually helped a couple of nurses in the Philippines who are waiting for visa. So we have a means to do that. We just need to embrace it and have our collective mind in order for us to make the transition for these nurses. We need to be in partnership with even government, international organizations. We need to do that. We need a lot of APRNs, nurse practitioners, clinical instructors, educators, administrators. Let's mobilize the whole PNAA and let's get it together. We will be PNAA for all. Remember, hashtag PNAA for all. Thank you.
So one of the So one of the things that we really need to do, so there's a Relief Act, there's a changing economic environment here also in the United States. There is resizing. So in my state, there is resizing. Although there's a lot of nurses out there, in fact, there's a lot of new grads that don't have a job. Because why? Baby boomers like us are not retiring. So those are the certain things that we have to consider. So we have to re-strategize, as I said a while ago. We have to be mindful of who is going to be our target population this time. So I believe it's the second generation. I agree with Dr. Libello again. Because of that we need to make sure that there's propagation of doctorate degrees, master's prepared, BSN out there. And we need to be very mindful of what the economic environment is as well here in the United States. Thank you.
Luckily for us, the Filipinos, we already did BSN a long time ago, right? We all graduated in BSN schools, was it 1984? So the initial survey that was just sent, and we have the initial findings, 66% BSN, 18% MSN, 6 or 8% doctorate. So BSN and above for Filipinos, more than 90%. So we're truly in step with the IOM recommendations for the future of nursing, and we probably could exceed those numbers too. So again, no pipelines, but we all should know by now that nursing shortage in the United States is cyclical. It happens, it has its ups and downs. Right now we're not getting people from abroad. It will come again. The baby boomers are aging. That's me included, and in the next 5 or 6 years there will be different needs. So I do agree with my fellow candidates here. We have to be really adaptable to the changes, and we're doing that. A lot of you are APRNs, a lot of you have doctorate degrees, a lot of you have PhD degrees. We're out there in the forefront. But in the meantime, what do? We have second-generation presidents. Where's the Kansas City group? They're doing it. They're the daughters of the people that we started with. We can also tap on the student nurses population that California and New Jersey have already started. We can have associate members from the non-Filipino groups. You all know that, right? So they can support you, they can become members. They cannot vote for me though, but yes, they can support the PNAA projects. So yes, Filipinos are adaptable. Filipinos are bright. Filipinos has the best ethical work anywhere. Filipinos have the heart. We will succeed.
We are now on the closing remarks. And we are going to change the order because they grew lots on this one. Okay? And to the candidates, most of you actually agreed with each other. Now is the time for you to differentiate yourself, with each other, to let us know and to make us make a decision on who is going to be the next president for 2018-2020. And the order of the closing remarks, the one who got the first number is candidate Madeline Yu, followed by candidate Jeanette Rivello, and thirdly, candidate Mindy of Yanas.
Let's go back to the mission. Why were we the organization started in the first place? So going back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, meet the needs at the basic level first. If you're a leader, you turn around and you have no members, is that leadership? So of course you have to really strengthen the base, strengthen the chapters, recruit the members, retain them, do succession planning, do leadership training. I do know of a chapter whose president was president for 10 years. So when she retired, the chapter retired too. So listen guys, we have to do something. Share your knowledge and expertise with the next generation. So I give honor and homage to the past presidents, Miraflor Andes, Cooper de la Paz, Velasquez, Solarte, Miranda, Compas, Calixto, May Mayor, Jurado, Rivera, Vicky Navarro, and currently Leti Hermosa for paving the way, and I didn't mention the rest of them. I don't have it in my list or in my brain, but I am very grateful, and from there we will do the roadmap of what next. We have to be relevant. We have to make sure that everyone knows of our value as Filipino nurses in America, and we've shown that. We've shown heart, we've shown skills, we've shown compassion. I would also like to introduce compassionate leadership in PNA America. Good behavior, respectful behavior, so our members will see that their role models at the top are really good people promoting the welfare of the members. Thank you very much.
We're almost ending, and I was hoping it will not end. I have so much to say, but I only have 2 minutes left. So what I would like to give a little bit of distinction is about the statement that was made by my colleague Madeline Yu about the retrogression is cyclical. It may be cyclical, but it has a different capacity at this time. We are experiencing tremendous growth of immigrant population all over the world. And that's the reason why the chances of jobs is also very competitive, more competitive than it was before 20 years ago. So I am proposing, even for PNAA, I thought of diversity and inclusion ad hoc committee. This is the committee tasked to be able to look and welcome new members and be the liaison to other organizations or hospitals that employ Filipino American nurses here, China, abroad. Isn't it wonderful that we actually have alliances everywhere? My position as for a decade here in the executive board of PNAA really led me to believe that we can make a difference. And I also know, being a leader in the most prestigious #1 hospital in the country, Massachusetts General Hospital, really gave me that opportunity to see and break the silos and really see what transformation we can make for our nursing profession and for our colleagues. It's very important when we look at that. Support future of nursing, support IOM recommendations and Vision 2020, and support our incoming president and also the past presidents for their initiatives. We have to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, to the NOMELEC team, led by Victoria Navarro and Sophie, and to the NCR leadership and its members, thank you for allowing us to share the why, how, and what of our aspirations to be President-elect. With your help, we will work in an inclusive manner to bring our best thinking to decision-making tables both within our organization, as partners as well, and the expanding world of healthcare community to carry out our aspirations and strongly position PNAA to become one team, one PNAA. Let us design, ignite, and inspire, because you matter, we matter, PNAA matters. We are an important piece of PNAA. As I close, Karen McKillen, President of the American American Critical Care Nurses, once said and coined courageous care. She said, courageous care reminds us that courage really means facing our fears to do what is right, even when it is not easy. It is not easy to design, ignite, and inspire for relevance as one PNAA. And I believe and I hope you will join my value, my vision, and my passion for what is right for PNAA moving forward. Thank you.
On behalf of the NOMELEC team, we have delivered. We have delivered to you, our constituents, for you to know each candidate. And now, you are actually going to have a better decision on whom you are going to vote for. And this is the reason why we are going now to the next level. The next level of bringing the candidates to you, and you back to the candidates because you actually asked the questions. So these are the meaningful questions and issues that you have brought to them. Okay? And I would like to thank the candidates. The candidates were actually quite nervous when we started all of this process. But guess what? This is their first event for them to look presidential, for them to talk presidential, and for them to be presidential. So let's give them a big applause because they